I'm going to go ahead and record this now. Um, can everybody turn on their video really quick just to say hi? You don't have to keep it on, but we just want to say hello to everyone as we get started. And then I might end up muting most people. We're going to have a really short presentation. But then afterwards, we're going to open it up. But we'll just start off with just saying hello. Can people who have their video off turn it on just to say hi? Hello, hello.
Hi.
Ciao.
Hello.
Okay, some people are in. Oh, there you go. Hey, how's it going?
Great.
Wow.
Hi.
Hi.
All right.
So.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hey.
All right. So like I said, I decided to leave Earth because it's a little too dangerous, but hope everyone is doing well down there. Yeah, so just a few ground rules. We're gonna go over a few updates and announcements and some important details, but the real important part of this is to hear from all of our students. We want to see your faces, want to see how you guys are doing. We're going to go over some basic information, so we'll mute everything. But please open up your chat box right now if you can, and you could type in questions there. Becca and Olivia will be helping answer questions that are easy to answer, maybe with an email address or a link. But then other ones will bring up as questions for our for Dr. Stevens and myself, or anyone else that can help. Yes, so thanks for everyone that's joining, especially if you are a staff member. Please hold off on your questions until after the students have asked all their questions, but we can ask, bring you guys in also. Dr. Stevens, are you there?
I am.
All right, so I'm going to switch over to the presentation and I'll let you lead, but we'll go along together. Let's see now. I can start out. Here we go.
Okay.
No se oye nada.
Okay, here we go.
Great.
And boom.
¿Esas personas están conectadas? Pero sin imagen, ¿no?
Oh, there we are.
All right.
I'd like to welcome everybody. It's good to see your beautiful faces. And I want to congratulate all of our students just for hanging in there. I know this is a difficult time, perhaps a stressful time for many of you. We appreciate all of your patience as ELI has been spending the last week and a half preparing to reopen all of our classes for Monday. I know you've been waiting for a lot of information, and not having information can make one a little bit nervous. And so we wanted to have this town hall so that all of you would have a chance to ask questions, and we give the very best answers we can. But the other important reason for this is all of us have been in our houses, in our rooms, in our apartments, and we've been feeling all a little isolated and maybe a little alone. And so this is our opportunity to connect with each other. And so have a little bit of fellowship, a little bit of community, and we hope it feels that way. So just want to go over a little bit of information with you. So just to let you know that I have sent some communication over the past week that the ELI is open. It never closed. And there are many important services available at the university as well. So, so some emergency phone numbers that you'll have on your screen, and I guess Tim will find some way to get this to everybody. You can always go back to this. It'll be recorded, as Tim said.
Right.
But that, go ahead.
Yeah,
Tim.
and then the actual, this website has our, any updates from the university and the ELI. So you can do that. This is the same address as the ELI/online classes, but it's a little easier URL. So if you guys want to take a picture of that or just bookmark it, Olivia, can you throw this URL into the group chat? So just check the chat, but this is the same information that was on this slide is in there. So
So the first number that you see there, the 722-6634, if you call that, you'll hear the lovely voice of Rebecca, who's waving at you now. She'll be happy to help you and get you connected to somebody who can answer your question if she cannot. And then we have the ELI for those of you in the global community, the phone number there, 455-8332. And is that your number, Olivia?
yeah, that's Olivia's.
That's Olivia's number. Okay. And then, of course, you can also email Tim Kim at any time. And I think he's in the process of arranging his office number to go to his cell phone, so he can get it out to you as well.
Yeah, so yeah, we have that slide later also.
Okay, great.
This was just a little message to students that are feeling sick. There's another slide about this, but if you are feeling sick, that's a real concern right now. But please call student health prior to going there. Please call emergency services or student health before going to any medical facility if you are suspecting corona-related symptoms or sickness. That's a critical step in protecting the medical workers, but also our greater population. So it's a simple call, and then they can direct you to what to do to get a test or things like that. Was there anything you wanted to add, Dr. Stevens?
No, other than again, if you're not feeling well and you need additional help, then you can call Student Life. You can call Rebecca's number or Tim Kim, or you can call me, and we'll help you through this.
Absolutely. All right. I just wanted to put a quick note about ID cards. Everyone is insured unless there's a student here that is on a leave of absence, and we'll contact you. But if you have a electronic or physical insurance card from the ELI that doesn't have the proper dates, you can get an updated card. You just need to put in your information in this website, and they can give you a digital card. But the number that you have will be the same. You can disregard the dates on a physical card because your policy number will be the same. Any questions there? Okay.
So these are the hours that the Student Health Center is open, 8:30 to 5 p.m. And again, the number Tim gave you before, 831-2226 to call before you go there.
All right.
And the emergency number if you need it at the ELI. Tim, you want to talk about counseling?
Yeah, so this is a really, really challenging time for everyone. Not only are we dealing with our own concerns, but a lot of us are away from our families, and it's doubly difficult to go through these challenging times away from our family and our loved ones. Please do not hesitate if you are struggling with personal things. And if you just wanted to set up a personal Zoom call with me, you can email me or call my office number. But also our counseling center is available. If you see that number 302-831-1004, that is a 24-hour number, and that connects you to a counselor immediately. There are multiple languages. All of the languages represented at the ELI is covered by this hotline. That will put you in contact with a counselor, and then that counselor can connect with our counseling office here in Newark if there's a major concern that you wanted to have someone locally help you with. But yeah, if you or someone you are concerned about is struggling here in Newark, you can call that number and get yourself or others into care. And you can also consult if you're having if you have a friend that's struggling. That number is also confidential. If you can share any information, or you don't have to share any information with that number. All right. Please let us know if you have any questions along the way. All right.
So again, some of you, again, it is a time when a lot of people are worried about the virus. So, yeah, of course, the important thing is to practice what we call social distancing, which means to stay at least, if you're with one other person, at least 3 feet, up to 6 feet. If you're going to have any kind of social activity, be in small groups. I would say smaller. You know, the government is recommending 10 or fewer. I would recommend smaller than that, 8 or fewer. Stay in your residence or go outside. You can certainly go individually to the store as you need to. But a lot of doctors are recommending going out and getting some fresh air. So, and sometimes it's just good to get out of your room and enjoy the sunshine. Wash your hands very often. They recommend washing your hands for at least 20 seconds. Using soap, any kind of soap will work. And then try to remember not to touch your face. If you need to cough, cough in your arm. And then keep your space clean. Keep your counters, your bathrooms, your kitchen counters, keep all of that clean so that the virus, if it does arrive, couldn't survive. There's more tips if you go to ELI online-classes. There's more information about the virus there and other university links, okay? I know some of you have been worried about whether or not to stay or to go home. I know some of you have gotten phone calls and WeChat messages from your parents. Right now, the government is really recommending not to travel if you can avoid it. No one should travel. Americans shouldn't travel. International students shouldn't travel. We're asking everyone to just stay in place for the next couple of weeks. For a couple of reasons. First of all, airports are not really a safe place right now. There are many, thousands of people at an airport. They're coming from all over the world. They may have the virus. And so, it's not the best place to be. Most countries are going to require you to quarantine, to be in isolation when you arrive. Some countries are requiring that as long as 30 days. And the other important thing is, and this is important for you to remember, being young students, you are among the safest from the virus. You could get sick from it, but very, very, very few young people are dying from this virus. It's older people that are in danger from this virus. And so you may have no symptoms, you may not be feeling sick at all, but you still may have that virus and you could carry that back to other people, or elderly people, in your community or in your family who you love. And so the safest thing you can do for the people you love is to stay here right now.
Yep. Yeah, so it's really important not to think just about your own ability to handle disease. It's really about the entire community. And that's the only way, that's the reason the entire nation is making drastic measures. It's not that everyone is actively at risk at the moment, but you might, all working together really helps end the problem much quicker. All right.
Exactly. So if you're bored, what can you do? Tim and his team have been doing a lot to address this. I'm gonna let Tim take over from.
Yeah, how bored are you guys? Are you guys pretty bored? Yeah, I've gone through a lot of different TV shows, or we've tried a lot, but I think at the heart of life, right, is connecting with others. So we're going to try our best to do so in this new environment. This might be one of the more common ways that we're going to connect, but we're going to try to do a few different things. Starting next week on Monday afternoon, it should be around 2 o'clock. We're going to have a fitness broadcast. So we have an AGF who is a personal trainer. An AGF is an American Global Fellow, so she's a student staff member for the ELI, and she's going to be running a class, and she has a series of quick workouts that you can do, and you don't need a gym. So it's things like just using a chair or a textbook to kind of do some different workouts so that we keep our blood flowing and kind of just break up the day. So we're going to do that. We're hopefully doing a little bit of craft or cooking next week. So just something simple to create around the house that doesn't take a lot of ingredients or supplies and materials. So stay tuned. The real important thing is to make sure you check your email to make sure that you have the announcements for that. We don't know who's involved, but that's the biggest thing we want to hear from you guys. If you have ideas or different ways of connecting, we're open to that, and we want to help facilitate as much as we can. So keep an eye out for that.
Go back just a moment, Tim.
Uh-huh.
So also OISS is having a virtual coffee hour today at 4 p.m. So that's today, the first activity you can do. And there's a link there that will take you to the virtual town meeting. I think there's going to be music. You can bring your own cup of tea or coffee to the event. And there'll be some other sharing there as well. So that's today at 4 o'clock. So the first student life activity begins today.
Yeah, and there'll be other things by the University of Delaware. So we're trying to work with them because they have similar plans and ideas, and we're trying to unite the community and get through these difficult times. But yeah, I'll be there at 4 o'clock today. So hopefully I see you guys. We're gonna do a few different things and hopefully do some trivia or quizzo. And yeah, so we're gonna do that. And also look out for, if you're an American Host Partner program, please follow through with the connections that Olivia has been helping make. And we might have some space for a few more. So if you're interested, please contact us.
I understand, Tim, that there is actually a waiting list. There's Americans that are waiting to connect with
That's
some
right.
ELI students. Is that right?
Yeah.
Correct. There are a lot of UD students who haven't been matched with a partner. So if anyone is interested in making an American friend, I'm going to put my email in the chat here. Please send me an email and I will get you partnered up with an American student.
All right. And yeah, we're trying to do a few creative things with that. So yeah, please look out for that. Another thing is if we're gonna launch a wider photo contest. So if you have some creative, funny photos that you've been taking, just showing how you're dealing with the difficulties of being quarantined, we wanna try to utilize that and share the humor amongst the community to get through some of this. All right, so that here are the emergency numbers again. Sorry.
They didn't get my number before.
Here we go.
Back. There you go.
Boom. All right.
So you had gotten the numbers for Rebecca and for the global community for Olivia, but I wanted to make sure you have my number. That's the 845710 number. That's my cell number. You can call me anytime, as I tell you when I told you when I first met all of you. Call me anytime, 24/7. And the cell phone is best from 6:30 in the morning until 11 at night. I usually then put it on the charger. And sometimes the cell phone makes funny noises. So between 11 o'clock and 6:30 in the morning, call me on the phone that is beside my bed. And that is the 369-4432 number, 369-4432. So 24 hours, 7 days a week, you can use one of those two numbers to get hold of me. Okay. And please don't be shy. I'm happy to talk to you.
All right. So a few statements about Monday.
Yeah, so classes start again. I bet you can't wait. You've been, it's nice to have a little vacation, but after a while, you just want to get back to class and seeing your teachers and classmates. And I can tell you, your teachers have been working so hard the last 7 working days to be able to take their live classroom and bring it online. And that's required a lot of training on their part, a lot of thinking about how do I do this activity a little bit differently. And I've been so proud of of your teachers and all the work they have put into this. So we're ready to go. So this Monday, March 23rd, if you have an 8:15 listening speaking class, make sure you get up in time because your class will begin in a town hall, in a town room, Zoom room rather, just for the listening speaking class. And if your reading and writing class begins at 10:25, that's when the Zoom room will be active. I know 1 or 2 of you have a 2:15 reading and writing class, but everybody else is in the morning. If you have a tutor, whenever you had that tutor before, that tutor is still available at that hour and on that day. Now, all of these things are live, including your AT classes and including your cohort meetings, with the exception of the listening lab. The listening lab is what we call asynchronistic. That means you can do it anytime you want. So if you wake up at 3 in the morning and say, I just want to go to the listening lab, you can do that, okay? So, so that's anytime. So how do you get to these pages? Well, that's on the next slide. So you go to the main ELI website, udel.edu/ELI, and you can click on that. There's a big banner that talks about the coronavirus, and there's a button that says Learn More. You click that, or if you don't want to do that, you can just use this other website, udel.edu/ELI online classes. And it'll take you to a link where you can find the list of all of your classes and the names of your teachers. So if you forgot the name of your class, then look up the name of your teacher. If you forgot the name of your teacher, look up the class. And you just click on that and you can go right into the Zoom room where that class is taking place. Of course, it will only be active during your regular class hours. So the same thing for your tutor. If you don't remember the name of your tutor, there's a list of all the tutors. You can find them and click on the tutor. We're also going to have some additional tutors available. So if you want extra tutoring at a time that is not normally scheduled, you can just try to click on any tutor, and if they're available, they have what's called a waiting room. If they see you in the waiting room, they will let you come in for your tutoring hour. And then, as I mentioned, your cohort classes are listed, your AT classes are listed. Everything will be listed on those pages so that you can find what you need in time. And in addition, I think most of you came last Thursday and Friday to get training on how to download Zoom like you're using now and how to use it. And so there's additional instructions on those pages on how to use Zoom. And there's also what's called troubleshooting. So if you have difficulties, if you can't hear your teacher or your teacher can't hear you, it gives you instructions. And those instructions are in Chinese and Arabic and Japanese and Spanish and several other languages. So we want to make sure you really understand how to solve problems while you're in your Zoom room.
All right.
So, so the session will continue as it has been scheduled. The last day will be April 23rd. And I know some of you are asking, and we don't know yet how we're going to do graduation. We may have a virtual graduation if some of you are graduating. And some of you have been asking about the next session, session 5, which is our May-June session. And will we be having it? Yes, we will. We do not yet know if it will be a Zoom online class or if we will be able to go back to face-to-face class. I will have an answer from the university administrators no later than April 10th. So you have plenty of time to plan.
All right. Yep.
So I don't want to close off here, but I just, do want to encourage all of you that, we can be really troubling, when difficulties happen, and it's easy to worry a lot, but I think there's something we can gain from every difficult moment. And we know that if really try to do our best, that we're going to come out of it stronger. And the other thing that I think is really helpful during times like this is it's easy to be thinking about ourselves and worrying and being upset that we can't do what we want. And so I'm just leaving you with this suggestion that if you're feeling helpless, you don't know what to do, the best thing you can do is help somebody else. So think about small acts of kindness. Maybe you can send an email, an encouraging note to a friend, or call somebody, or leave a little package of food on the doorstep of somebody else. So, or visit, if it's just you and one other person, to visit with a friend as well. So look at ways of showing kindness. to other people.
All right. So that concludes just the a presentation part of things, but we really want to hear from you guys. If you had questions or concerns or ideas, suggestions, we'd love to hear them. And just wave. A lot of us don't have video on, but if you want to share, you can unmute yourself and ask a question. Yeah. Any thoughts?
Any questions at all about anything, about the university, what will happen next?
You guys can unmute yourselves if you'd like.
There's a picture of a microphone.
One question that was posed was, does going back to their home country and continuing remotely, will that affect someone's visa? That was a question asked in the chat.
It's a great question. So the short answer is no. Normally it would, but because of the special circumstances surrounding the virus, if you go home and you continue in the remote classes, then your visa will remain active, your I-20 will remain active. The important thing, though, is that you remain in your classes. So if you go home to China, for example, our 8:15 in the morning classes will probably be 8:15 p.m. and you won't get done until midnight. These are live classes, so we have to keep them at the same time. If you go back to Saudi Arabia, I think there's about a 7 or 8 hour difference. So you just have to be aware of the time differences. And I think the One Help page provides some of that information at ELI. So the short answer is no, it will not affect your visa if you continue in your classes. So we're required by the government to continue to take attendance, and we can take attendance if you are here in Delaware, or if you are in Beijing, or if you are in Riyadh, we can still take attendance.
Good question. Other questions? Anyone else?
I think something that would be really good for everyone to do, especially for classes starting on Monday, is to learn to change their name on the screen. I see a lot of names, but I also see Chromebook B and iPhone. And in order for your teachers to be able to take attendance, it will be very important that they can see your name on your screen or have some way to identify who you are.
Yeah. How would you do that, Sue? Do you know?
Okay, you're dead to me. I
Hopes-
did it, but I'll have to go dig around. Give me a second.
It's a great point. Right now, there's a lot of people here called iPhone or iPad. I have no idea who you are. Right now, it doesn't matter as much, but in your classes, that matters a lot. So make sure you change that so that, and it should be your name on your passport. Maybe even add your ID number. That wouldn't be a bad idea. It makes it quicker for your teachers to keep attendance. But yes. All right. Yeah.
I'd like to follow up for traveling home. Just make sure if you're traveling, you need to follow all travel, the whole process. So you need to contact registrar and your academic advisor before you travel. That's very important to maintain your visa as well.
So yes, the first step is to talk to your advisor. So if you're in academic transitions or pre-AT, then you could talk to Ross or Blythe or Mickey. But there's a link on that ELI student page for your academic advisor. And if you're in regular ELI, then Megan Graham is your contact, and there's a link for that as well. And you would talk to them first, and then you would communicate with the ELI registrar's office, and then the last step would be OISS before you would leave.
So 2 good questions in the chat right now. For students in the dormitory, George Reed and others, they're asking about packages. If you could email ELI-housing, Becca, if you could throw your email in there, and we can find out. It should be the normal method, but I recognize that a lot has changed. So we're going to double check for you. You could email Becca and then just say, how do I receive questions? Or if you want, you could provide your email here and we can copy you on a question to the management in George Reed and other halls.
So it's my understanding there's a difference between packages such as something from Amazon.com
Yes.
and regular mail. Regular mail is not working right now on campus. It's just going to the big mail room and is going to wait until the campus reopens. So someone sending you a handwritten letter might be difficult right now. You might want to have them send it to somebody else in the community. Maybe we could arrange to have it delivered to you. But packages, we can find out for you. And that'll be a different procedure.
Yeah, and if that's the case, if you have a letter that you're waiting on from the bank or someone else and you really need it, please contact us. You could email me and say, hey, there's a really important letter and I live in the dorms. We can maybe try to figure out if we can get that to you, if there's an important document coming, but we'll ask the same question about packages. So good questions. And then there's a question about this afternoon's activities. That is not required, but we're really, really encouraging you to participate. We want to see our students be involved. It's really important because this is going to be a really difficult month or so to try to finish out our classes online and stay so separated. We're trying to do these things not just for the sake of it, but for you guys to have some connection and you practice your language and do other things. So we're going to try to set up those things. So please do attend if you can.
And I want to encourage everyone, we have you in your rooms for your physical health and your physical safety. All of us are in isolation, but the important thing right now is also your mental health and your emotional health. And we know as human beings, we need to connect with each other. And so that's why these activities are really, really important. As Tim said, they're not required, but I think you'll feel better by doing them because it gives you a way to connect with others.
And we're working really hard to make them, so it'll be very encouraging to us if you could support and attend our events. All right. Other thoughts or questions?
One question is, can I use Student Health Center during break time?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
I answered that student directly, but I think we should tell the answer to all.
Right. Yeah, so go ahead,
Go ahead.
Dr. Steve.
Yeah. Also, same hours,
Right.
8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But again, call first, 831-2226. Even when it's open, call first. And then they will ask you to describe, what is bothering you. And if you need help describing that, feel free to, you can, talk to one of your teachers, talk to your tutor, talk to Tim or Rebecca or Olivia, and we can help give you the language to have that conversation if you're worried about that.
Yeah, so call those numbers. Yeah, specifically, especially if you're just looking for a test. Tests are a little bit difficult right now. So if you contact us, we might be able to help try to find you the right facility to get a test done. So don't hesitate. You can call directly to the health center, or you can have us help you. It might be helpful, especially regarding testing. I think you muted. Did you have a question? I'm going to unmute you. There you go.
Yes, I have a question. Hello, everyone. Dr. Stevens.
Hi.
I'm a CAP student, and I was supposed to pass the GMAT exam on March 26th, but it was canceled due to the situation. So it's my last session, and I'm just wondering, because I have requirements to pass the GMAT exam before the graduation. And what's happened now with my enrollment to MBA program? So,
Very good question. So, as you may know, the university is in the process of, for CAP-only students, of not requiring CAP students to retake the GMAT. Originally, it was not scheduled to be approved until September. But because of these special circumstances, I will be happy to write the director of the MBA program for you. So can you do me a favor and can you email me with your name and student ID and which is it MBA or is it another graduate program? Give me that information and I will contact the director and see if they will be willing to waive the GMAT for you.
Okay, thank you. I'll do that.
My pleasure. And my email is sstevens@udel.edu.
And you can find that in the chat. All right. Good question.
Great question.
Anyone else? Anybody else have any funny stories to tell?
There are some more chat questions.
Okay.
Right.
How will there be tests and evaluations, and how will those happen?
Excellent question. So yes, there will be assessments and tests in your classes. However, we are canceling final exams at the ELI this session. Why? Because it usually takes us about a week to do our final exams, and then we lose class time for that. And of course, we have not had class this past week. And so the faculty, the teachers want to make up that time. So for this session only, there will be no final exams at the end of the session. But there will be graded assignments that your teachers will give you. And so, and they will tell you about that. But so a little bit easier that way.
Good question. All right.
Okay. And then how long do we need to take online classes?
Well, right now it's for this session, we know for sure. So the next 5 weeks, we'll be having online classes. Again, this will continue until April 23rd. That'll be the last day. And I will let you know very soon, in about 2 weeks, what the May-June session will be like. Will it be online or will it be back to normal, back to face-to-face? I will be in discussions with university administrators to see what might be possible. But I promise to let you know as soon as possible.
All right. Good questions. Other questions? All right.
Anybody else?
Some question just came up. How much food should people prepare for, and will we be banned from going out?
Very good question. The grocery stores all have a lot of food. My wife was just there today, so I promise you there's a lot of food. The shelves are not empty. And no, you are not banned from going to grocery stores. So, be free to go, keep some distance from other shoppers, but there's no problem with that. And so I don't recommend, there's a word for it when people buy a lot of things and keep it. It's called hoarding. And you don't have to do that. There's plenty of food. There will continue to be plenty of food. So buy what you need and you should be fine.
Yeah, I think there's no point right now to overstock and things like that. There's no indication that we're shutting down to a very serious level. So, and there's a lot of, like Dr. Stevens said, there's a lot of food. I've been to the grocery store a few times this week and we're doing just fine. So just a real idea is just to limit your overall interaction with others so that we can't, so it doesn't spread, but it's not a complete shutdown of our society, our community.
I'd like to add to that. So restaurants, you can't, at least in the Newark area, they're not allowing you to sit at them as far as I know, but all of them are open for takeout and many for delivery. And I just moved and have many, many boxes still. So I have been taking full advantage of the restaurants, and they've all been fast and good in the Newark area.
And I'd recommend something called Grubhub. It's an app, but it's connected to a lot of the restaurants that didn't used to have delivery, like McDonald's or some of the other restaurants that you had to pick up. Grubhub charges you a fee, but at least if you don't have access to a car, you could have other options. You don't have to just go to one pizza shop for delivery. Grubhub makes most of the things in Newark, most of the restaurants in Newark, accessible for delivery. So it's great. They developed that really well last year. I'm glad it works right now. So please, you could utilize it. I think there's also a reduction in fee because of the COVID virus situation. So please use that if you need access to pre-made meals.
And Olivia just gave you the app in the chat.
Yeah, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. Yep. Good stuff. All right.
These are great questions, and we're in no hurry, so feel free to ask more.
Some music.
I heard that supermarkets are closed in some places. Will we also close? As far as we know, the supermarkets around here are all open and will continue to be open. It is true that some supermarkets that used to be open 24 hours a day are not open 24 hours a day. So for example, Walmart in Maryland used to be open 24 hours a day, and it closes now at 11 o'clock. So there's been some reduction, some reducing of hours, but they are all open in Delaware to the best of my knowledge, and Maryland.
And if, we don't anticipate that becoming that serious, but if it does, we're going to focus heavily on our ELI students and how to make sure you guys get the proper supplies that you need. So if things get a little more difficult, again, we don't think it will, but if it does, come to us, email us with those concerns, because we're trying our best to coordinate any kind of support.
So there's two extra questions. One from Masake, can I have extra tutoring? And the answer is yes. So when you go to that page, you're going to be getting an email, I believe today. And I to thank the registrar's office that they've worked very, very hard. There's Sue waving, to put this together, and they've worked with our Office of Recruitment Management and Communications to get this all on the website. And so we'll get you a link to that. And so the tutoring page will not only include the hour that is scheduled for you with your tutor, but if you want extra hours, I am quite sure they will be available to you. There was another question about seeing your teacher face-to-face for 10 minutes. That might be more difficult. Your teachers are all back home. They're trying to stay safe and healthy, and they want you to be safe and healthy. So, unless your teacher works out something with you, probably not. But if you want to have a personal conversation with your teacher, that's an excellent question, because all of the teachers will continue to have office hours, and they will be happy to have a private time with you on Zoom to talk about anything you want, just you and your teacher. So yes, you can have a personal conversation face-to-face, at least on Zoom, with your teacher.
Yeah, so it's important to say I want to meet on Zoom. So you can email your teachers directly and say, I want to talk to you personally on Zoom to explain something. So the way you wrote it in the text is perfect, but use Zoom as the what you're referring to, because most teachers will not be able to do anything face-to-face. But also for myself, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation, I'm open for Zoom. Just email me directly. I'm going to put my email again. Email me directly if you want to have a private conversation. Even after this, if you wanted to ask a question but you weren't sure if it was the right thing to do, you can email me directly and we can set up a time to talk. Um, good questions. Other questions?
Don't be shy.
Any good jokes? Um,
Thank you, Sue, for coughing in your arm.
I'm getting really good at that. You should be too, by the way. You've been coughing for months.
Right.
You know, I haven't shaved this in a few days, and I keep touching my face.
Didn't that take you 6 months, Tim?
I can't tell.
Listen, it's been since January, but yes, but I keep touching my face because of it. It's so weird to me. But yes, maybe it'll go. Should I keep it? That's right now. Oh, nice. Thumbs up from my team. All right.
So I'm just going to point out that Sue did put how to get your name in the chat. So just, I'll read it out. If you log into Zoom using your UD credentials, so that's your CAS login, your name should show up in Zoom just like it looks when you log into UDSAS. So for example, that is how I logged in, and you'll see my full name is there.
So if we did a online dance party, would people come? Yes. So there have been attempts to do online dances and social gatherings. So would anybody come? If 2 people say yes, we're gonna make it happen, and it can't be Olivia and Becca. If 2 students join our dance party, we're gonna make one.
Well, why don't you build it and then they'll come?
All right, we we will. All right, it might be bad. Little dance now. Anyone else? You know, like.
If nothing else.
All right.
Well, I want to, any staff that are here, do they have any questions? I saw
That's
the
right.
tutors here. We had to, oh, here we got one. How do I receive a package in the dorm? So we covered that. So we'll get that information to you about receiving packages in the dorm.
Yeah, Keshu, could you give us your email? So we can, we'll answer that question directly for you. Okay, great.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay.
Last chance.
ELI staff? Yep, here we go. Oh, yep. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate your time. You know, as Tim promised, we're going to have a number of activities beginning today, 4 o'clock, and continuing next week just to help you continue to connect. All the classes start on Monday. And so ELI is alive and well, and we are glad you are alive and well, and we want to continue to make ourselves available to you. So again, you have all those contacts, and we'll get this slide presentation to you. And please reach out and contact any one of us when you need to talk.
So classes start next week. Also, let's have some fun together. Look out for those activities, and let's have fun. All right.
Yeah,
See ya.
bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Everybody say bye at once.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody. Bye.
Forever.